There's been a lot of talk about China's high-tech fight against coronavirus, robots delivering food in hospitals, facial recognition cameras taking people's temperatures, and drones enforcing lockdowns and quarantines. But what about the tech we can't see? China's sophisticated and controversial data surveillance system is used to track citizens on and offline.
健康码运用大数据监控后台大数据精密指控
And it's proving extremely effective during the pandemic. The mass surveillance network has taken the Communist Party decades to build. They've faced near constant criticism for it around the world. But as the world tries to get a grip on COVID-19, many countries are looking to the model for answers. Here's how they're doing it in South Korea.
They're using your phone to locate where you are, and then they'll send you an emergency alert if you're anywhere near where a confirmed coronavirus patient has been.
Singapore, Israel, Iran, Taiwan and Russia have all adopted some or all of the Chinese methods to temporarily harness the power of data. More are expected to follow. So how does China's data surveillance system work, and how is it useful in a pandemic? It all starts with this, a national ID card. You need one to pretty much do anything in China. From buying a mobile phone to using any app, everything you do leaves a data trail linked back to your ID. In areas in lockdown, phone location data is being used to monitor movement and enforce curfews. If a patient is meant to be in quarantine, geolocation pings on their phone can alert authorities if they stray out of their homes. Phone location data is also being used to map exactly where that person visited in the 2 weeks before being diagnosed. A combination of human and automated computer analysis work out who they may have infected. If they went on a train and got too close to other commuters, a text message is sent out through one of the major apps, alerting those at risk. Every person is being assigned a coloured QR code depending on the risk they pose. Green, no risk. Orange, they've entered a potential virus hotspot. And red, if they've tested positive for the virus and could still be contagious. None of this cyber surveillance would be any good without the Chinese state's strict enforcement teams too. Police and volunteers have literally manned the exits of apartment blocks to keep places on lockdown. But in countries where these data surveillance powers are being brought in to help deal with coronavirus, some people are worried about the long term.
My name is Adam Schwartz. I am a senior lawyer at the Electronic Frontier Foundation. There is a great concern that when government gets new powers in a crisis, government never gives those powers away even when the crisis ends. So, for example, in the wake of the 9/11 attacks, the United States created vast new surveillance powers. 19 years later, those powers are still very much in the hands of the US government.
Adam and others also have questions about just how much of a difference this data surveillance can make and if it's worth it.
What we are basically saying to governments around the world is, before you unveil unleash a brand new mass surveillance power, it's necessary for governments to come forward and really public health professionals to come forward and show that these technologies would actually address the crisis.
Striking the delicate balance between privacy and security is an age-old problem for governments and the public. But perhaps never in history has the dilemma been more pressing and more life-threatening.